Hello students, this is Dr. Praveen Tripathi, Faculty of Psychiatry, and as you are aware, NEET PG results have been announced. Today there are two sections of students in the country, a smaller section of students who got selected, who got good ranks, good scores, and they are celebrating, they are enjoying, they are sending messages to their faculties, and then another bigger group, bigger chunk of students who did not perform as well, who did not get a good rank and who do not know what to do next. So all of us have congratulated the first category of students, but here in this video I would be addressing the second section of students more. This is a rule of life. When you are successful, there are many people who come and talk to you, who make a claim in your success, who say that they are part of your success. But when you become unsuccessful, when you don't get desired results, often you are alone. And this is the harsh truth of life. Nothing can be done about it. But you're not all alone. You understand that your family members are with you, your teachers are with you, your colleagues are with you, your friends are with you. And I want to address whatever is going in your mind, and I want to suggest you a framework about how to proceed, what to do next. Now, before we talk about the tangible steps, let us try to understand how we are feeling. From the messages that I have received today and from the messages that we usually receive on the examination, on the results day, there are two kinds of emotions that run high. The first one is that of utter helplessness. Many students message and say that, sir, I studied properly, I studied well, I did whatever I could do, I gave grand test, everything was going okay, I was expecting better results, but the results were a disaster. I had not anticipated this kind of result, and I don't know what went wrong, I don't know what to do. And they feel very, very helpless, they don't know what to do, and they feel that nothing is in their hands. And then there are second type of students who feel very angry at themselves, or who feel very guilty. They say that things were going right, but I wasted a lot of time. This year many students are saying that things were going right, but then they wasted a lot of time on Twitter or on social media, trying to get the exams postponed. And now they're feeling really bad that why did I waste that time? This is one thing. There are many students who say that because of any XYZ reason, they did not study as much as they wanted to study, or as much as they could have studied, and now they're feeling bad. Telling people who are feeling like this, either of the two, that just forget everything that happened, and look to the future, start afresh. That is not a very good suggestion, I would say, because the emotions are genuine. When you are hurt, when you feel sad, when you feel guilty, when you feel helpless, all those are very strong emotions, very genuine emotions because of a reason. And it's a good practice to acknowledge your own emotions. Telling yourself that I should not feel sad, I should not feel guilty does not work. If you are feeling something, you have to acknowledge that you are feeling that thing, and others should also acknowledge that you are not in a good frame of mind, you are not feeling so well. So at least I acknowledge your emotions, I understand what you are going through, I understand your pain. And I must tell you that your pain is genuine, what you are feeling is genuine. Said that, let's talk about the second part. When you have strong emotions, usually they are accompanied with strong thoughts. For example, if you did not perform well, even after studying hard, you might be having that thought that I am completely useless, I can never get selected, I have no qualities, everybody would go ahead in life and I would be left alone. You might be having these thoughts. Or you might be having again thoughts of guilt. Why the hell did I do this? Why the hell didn't I study? Why the hell did I waste those 15 days, 20 days, 1 month? Now the problem is when you have strong emotions, sometimes the strong thoughts that accompany those emotions, they are not right. You may be judging yourself in a much more adverse way than you should. You may be having a much bleaker picture of the future, or a much more negative picture of the future than what it is objectively. And while the emotions are genuine and we should acknowledge them, these thoughts, these extreme thoughts, these thoughts which tell you or which ask you to question everything about yourself, question your capabilities, question your qualities, question your ability to do hard work. All these thoughts, we should scrutinize these thoughts. We should just not accept these thoughts. When you talk about results, we talk in a binary. We talk about students who got selected and who did not get selected. But the preparation levels are not in binary. Unfortunately, in the system that we are in, till a particular rank you are likely to get good seats, good colleges, and after that you would not get anything good. But if you look at these two groups, the difference is not that much. Sometimes an increase in 5 marks or an increase in 10 marks is all that is required to jump from this group to the other group, from the group of those who did not get a good rank to those who got a respectable rank. So a score of 5 mark, 10 mark, 15 mark, which is not that big a deal, is often what separates the two groups. So when you say that I have no quality, I would never get selected, I can never achieve anything good, what you are overlooking is that the difference is not that much. Maybe a little bit more of that push, maybe a little bit more of that perseverance, maybe a little bit more of that persistence is all that is needed to go from this group to that group. I'm not saying that all of you should start studying right away, but I'm just trying to challenge the thought that is coming in your mind that it is beyond your capabilities or you're just not good. That is not true at all. People who get selected and who do not get selected often do not differ that much. Also, we have to take a decision whether you should be preparing again, whether you should pick whatever you get, whether you should make a bit of compromise, whether you should take the risk of appearing again in the examination. All those things have to be thought of. All of those things must be given due consideration, and you should take a decision in, I believe, not more than 7 days. You can give yourself a couple of days, you can relax, you can try to process whatever is going in your mind, but probably after a week or so you should take a decision. The decision could be anything. You can decide to drop, or you can as well decide not to drop and pick whatever you are getting, but you have to decide one of these. Reason being that in all likelihood the next year examination would be held in January. In all likelihood it would be NEET examination only, and that means that we have like 6-7 months left, not more than that. So if you plan to study again, you don't have a lot of time left. You have to start quickly. Now, how do you decide whether to drop another year or pick whatever you are getting? Now, I think there are two most important questions that must be asked, that you should ask from yourself while taking this decision. The first and the foremost is that, was this your best effort? Was this, the examination that you took, was it your best effort? Yes or no? You know the answer. And second question, irrespective of whether it was your best effort or not, do you feel like, or do you have the courage to again study for next 6-7 months? Are you ready to go through that difficult phase again? And again, when you ask yourself this question, can I again study for 6-7 more months? Can I do that? You'll get that answer yes or no in your own head. So 2 questions. Was it your best effort? Can you again study for 7 months more? Depending upon these 2 major questions, you should take a decision. If the answer is that it was your best effort and you don't see that you can again sit down and study again for 6-7 months, if this is the answer, then your choice is very simple. Pick up whatever you get in the counseling, presuming that you will get something. Clinical, paraclinical, preclinical, degree, diploma, you'll get something. This is straightforward. But then the second part comes. There are few more important questions that must be given due consideration. One of those is that, are you really into a particular branch? Is it that you always wanted to get into a particular branch? Or was it that you always wanted to get into a clinical branch? Was it the case with you? Also, what exactly do you want from your professional career? You want to become a successful clinician, Or is it that you want to stay in the academic life, you want to become an assistant professor, or is it that you just want a good life, a good professional life, doing what you like, which is, I'm assuming, being a clinician, and rest everything doesn't matter much. Why are these questions important? Because when you are living in the confines of those four walls of your medical college, the world that you see is very different from the real world outside. In that campus, all that matters is degree. If you don't have a MD/MS, you are looked down upon. If you get into preclinical or paraclinical, sometimes even in those cases you are looked down upon. But that happens only within that campus. Outside the campus, the definition of being successful or a failure are very different. People don't care whether you are a pathologist or whether you are a surgeon or whether you are a psychiatrist. Your degrees and your departments don't matter that much. What the world cares about is how are you doing. I'll give you an example. One of my batchmates from my medical college who failed, I think, once or twice in the MBBS and had multiple supplies throughout the 4 years, and who got who opted for a diploma, not degree, who got diploma, who could not get a rank good enough to get a MD or MS seat. Today he has the most roaring practice amongst all. He is doing exceedingly well, much better than people who got single digit rank. The reason is he took his diploma, got outside, went into practice, established his private practice, put a lot of effort, and now if you want to take his appointment, you'll have to wait for a couple of days. Why am I telling you this example? Because you think that getting into a good branch, getting into a good college and getting a MD/MS seat is the only thing that matters and is the only thing that makes you successful. But this is not true at all. So that is why I was asking you, do you want to become a good clinician? Do you want to have a successful professional life? In that case, probably whether you pick a diploma or degree does not matter much. Whether you go to a small place, a small city, or whether you go to a big hospital or big college in Delhi, doesn't matter that much, because there are things beyond your degree. So that is one aspect that most of the students just ignore. And another thing is, a large number of students do not even know what they want from life or what they really want to do in the next step. They are just at loss. They don't know. They don't really have inclination towards a particular branch, and they don't even know whether they should drop an year or pick whatever they are getting. So that is also a big chunk of students who are just following their intuitions or following what others are telling them without any clear reasons to do one thing or the other. Now I'll take examples of few students. I'll talk about few scenarios which can be used to at least deduce what would be the logical next step. Say there's a student A, and the student A has already dropped twice. I mean, he appeared in his internship or her internship, then he took the first drop and then he took the second drop also. And despite that, the result is not good. The rank has not improved in the last 2 years. And this person, as expected, is tired, kind of frustrated, does not feel like studying again. At the same time, he is not able to leave it either because he is afraid that what others will say, what friends will say, what parents will say, what colleagues will say. And he is in a fix, does not know what to do. My advice to this person is, if you are getting anything, just pick it. Do not get into a state of stagnation. Do not get into a state of stagnation. I would repeat myself, because we think that this is the most important step of our professional careers, but that is not true. Even if you get into any branch, even if you take diploma, there are multiple other things that you can do in the future which will ultimately decide your professional standing. Don't think that if you don't get into a good college or if you don't get into a good branch, this is the end. It doesn't work that way. So if you have already dropped 2 years, 3 years, scores are not improving, so there's no point of torturing yourself even more. Just pick something. The life should keep on moving. There should be no stagnation. Second case scenario. This was your first drop year. You appeared in the internship and now you appeared after dropping in a year. Your result is not that good. You are not getting what you wanted, or you are unlikely to get what you wanted, but you still have that energy or that desire to fight it out for 6-7 months more. Also, you know what mistakes you have made. If somebody asks you what went wrong, you are able to come up with 2-3 things that this is what I missed, and if I had covered this, probably my results would have been better. So if you are this kind of student, dropped a year, not getting what you wanted, not likely to get what you wanted, still have enough energy left and know what went wrong, I would suggest that you can seriously consider dropping another year. When we talk about dropping a year, the biggest problem is 1 year would get wasted again. 1 more year would get wasted. But that is not important. In your professional life, which would continue in all likelihood till you are alive. Doctors continue working till the very end. So 50 years of life is ahead of you, and in that 50 years, whether you start 1 year early or 1 year later does not matter. It hardly matters. So I believe if you have the courage or if you have the strength, just the fact that 1 more year will get consumed is not a rational argument. Go ahead, study again for 7 months, and in all likelihood you would do better. Third scenario, you had dropped 1 year, the result is not that good, you are unlikely to get what you wanted, but you had enough. When you look at the books, when you look at the videos, when you look at the notes, you feel repulsion. You just don't want to look at it again. You are kind of fed up. You are craving to get back into the hospital and start working. My advice, pick up whatever you are getting. If you don't feel like studying, the chances of your rank becoming better is quite less. So there's no point. It might as well happen that you end up with a score or rank worse than what you got this time. So if you don't feel like doing it, just stop it. Again, as I said, you may think that not getting a good branch or not getting a college of your choice is extremely important, the most important thing that could have happened in your life, but trust me, it's not true. You will have many other chances in your professional career to make it or break it. This is not the only chance. Fourth scenario, this was your first attempt, you are an intern or you have just completed your internship. Because of the internship, you could not study as well, the time was limited. You got a rank which is not that great, you might get something, you might get some branch, but this was not your best effort, and you can study, you should study in this scenario. So in this scenario, again I would advise that drop a year, study hard, study properly, and probably next year you would get something really good. So these are the 4 scenarios broadly, and in some cases dropping a year and appearing again next year, trying to improve the result is the more rational choice. In some cases, picking whatever you're getting and moving on with life, not getting into that mode of stagnation is what is important. So depending upon this rough template or rough framework, you can take a call. But in case you do decide to study, in case you do decide to again give 6-7 months to your preparation, then it has to be the best ever preparation that you can ever come up with. Then it has to be your best ever effort. If you decide to study, your life should revolve around that particular examination. From getting up in the morning till going to the bed, that is one thing that should preoccupy your mind. Because see, 6 months, 7 months sometimes can make a huge difference in your life. I just said that it's not that getting a good rank sorts out your life forever. It doesn't happen that way ever. But if you can give 6-7 months of your life to a particular exam, and if you can ensure that it is your best ever effort, if you can study to the best of your capabilities, if you can just push your boundaries, then it may have a significant change or significant impact on your professional careers. And something which can have such a significant impact on your careers should be attempted wholeheartedly. So if you plan to study again, then you have to, we use the word tapasya in Hindi, where we forget everything. That is the only preoccupying, that is the only preoccupation in your mind. Then you have to go into that mode of studying. Study very hard, stay away from social media as much as possible. Don't get confused. Don't try to, read those sources which are too ballooned up, which are impossible to complete. Stay focused. Today only I was interviewing rank 8 NEET PG, and I asked him, how did you manage to complete the course? And he was like, sir, I was very focused. I would study and then I would take grand tests, and if I found that I was weak in a particular area, then I would focus on that. Now, see, what rank 8 says does not really represent everybody. People who get single digit rank in the entrance examinations are sometimes, sometimes they are quite special. Sometimes they had put so much of effort, a lot of effort to get into that position. But there are other people who are so intelligent, who have such great memory that they have a huge advantage. But what I'm trying to point out here is that the rank 8 also believes that staying focused, choosing your study material in a judicious way, not trying to cover too many things, not trying to follow too many sources, not trying to do things which cannot be revised, is usually the key. So be very judicious in what you study. You have to ensure that whatever you are picking, you should be able to revise it at least twice. And if you follow this thing of completing the subjects and revising it twice, more often than not you would be able to get a good rank next time. So please don't give up. Don't try to evaluate yourself, or don't judge yourself on the basis of a single examination. Many times different things go wrong and we don't get results of our choice or what we had expected, but that's fine. We always have that another attempt. We always have that second chance that we can modify, or that we can modulate in our own way and get the desired results. So I understand some of you must be feeling very bad. It is understandable that you must be feeling very disappointed, but one examination does not mean everything. Think about your circumstances, think about the questions that I wanted you to ask to yourself, and take the correct decision. God bless you. All the best.